friends, welcome back to another video. If you don't know me, my name is Monica and I like making videos about owning a small business, working 9 to 5, productivity, lifestyle, and all these fun things. And today I'm coming at you with 10 different unique vendor booth displays and products that will definitely elevate your entire booth and get you more sales. I've been doing vendor markets for quite some time now and I've learned the hard way the different things that will definitely help customers stop by your booth versus kind of just let them pass by without caring all that much. So without further ado, here are 10 unique materials and booth ideas that you can incorporate into your booth to increase sales. The very first thing, can you guess it? If you've been following for a while, I bet you guessed it. It's my spin the wheel game. Now you might think that's kind of childish, or why would I need that? Or why would I pay money to have a spin the wheel game? I'll tell you why. Literally from 100 feet away, people will see my colorful spin the wheel back deep into my booth and be like, I want to go spin that wheel. You'd be surprised how many adults and adults with their children who spot my spin the wheel and are curious, like, what's the game? What do I win? What do I have to do to spin it? If I spin it and land on something cool, what is that cool thing? So I have a bunch of different discounts, little perks that you can get if you spin the wheel. This normally lays on a different platform and it stands up all on its own, but I wanted to show you guys the different things that I have on here. I have $1 off your purchase, buy one get one sticker 10% off, buy one get one candle 15% off, free decal with purchase, free sticker with purchase. All of these are very reasonable, I would say, discounts where you're not giving away candles that are worth $30. You're not giving away stickers that are worth, I don't know, a ton of money. Every single thing that I wrote down here says with purchase to emphasize the fact that you don't just get a free sticker. If you make a purchase, then you'll get a free sticker. Or if you make a candle purchase, you'll get the next candle 10% off, etc., etc. Because I have had some miscommunication, I would say, especially with some younger people who will see free sticker, doesn't say with purchase, and they'll kind of fight me for it. They'll be like, it says I get a free sticker, and I'll be like, it's with purchase, and they'll be like, that's not what it says. So be careful what you actually write on here and make sure you're gonna honor what it says. But otherwise, I've had really good results with this. People love spinning it. While I'm checking them out, it also gives them something fun to do. So while I'm entering everything onto the Shopify POS app, I'm taking my time trying to make sure everything looks right. And while I do that and take payment, they can spin the wheel and I'll include their discount on the checkout page. I got this from Etsy. It's from Neo Design. It has the little logo there. There are a bunch of other ones that you can get on Etsy, but I love the colors of this one. So I definitely encourage you to get this one. The brand sent this over really fast and I think they hand make it, or at least they hand put it together. They sent me a freebie along with this. Cannot recommend enough. Some people ask me if they can spin the wheel before they decide if they want to buy something, and I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. They spin the wheel, it says free sticker with purchase. That encourages them to buy something else, so sometimes they'll end up buying a candle and then know that they get a free sticker with it. Or sometimes they land on buy one tote bag, get another tote bag 10% off, and 2 friends will come in and get 2 tote bags, and then one of them will be 10% off. And I think it just gives a small and reasonable incentive to purchase from my shop over someone else's. Moving on to my second unique display idea is an empowering mirror. You all know, if you watch my channel, I love myself a good mirror with a decal on it that says, shut up, you look good. I'll put some footage here of me using it. I basically just hang it at the very front of my tent so people can glance over, see themselves, and I kid you not, people love looking at themselves. So when they see a mirror, they're gonna look in it. And when they see the little decal, they'll laugh to themselves, or they'll just have some sort of reaction. Normally they tap their friend and say, hey, look at this mirror, so cool. And by just looking and glancing over my booth because of that mirror, a lot of them actually end up coming into my booth and looking at my other stuff. They ask if I sell that decal so they can put it on their mirror, and I say, yes, I do. So it's like free marketing. If you are interested in this decal, I actually sell them. So you can grab one from me on Etsy or my Shopify website. Links are down below. I do sell big ones now that fit on this mirror, and I also sell really small ones that you can put on smaller mirrors. So the mirror itself I got from Target, but this Target mirror is so affordable. It's meant to be a college mirror. I think it actually is called the college over the door mirror because when you go to college, you don't have like a legit mirror, you just have a closet door and you want to put the mirror on the door. So that's what I had in college, and I just decided to get one for this. And it does come with the metal hooks that attach directly to a little hole that's in the back of the mirror. Those hook on, and then the over the door part is almost like a wreath holder if you have any of those hanging on your doors, but it just hooks right onto my tent. The only issue with it being there is when it's windy, it doesn't really stay stable. It kind of flaps in the wind, but that's only happened to me once before. So normally it does stay and there are no issues. Sometimes I'll tape the backs of the metal hooks just so that if anyone bumps into the mirror or something, it doesn't come crashing down. So far, so good. And I've had it for 3 years at this point. The third unique material that you need in your vendor booth are custom displays. Now I know it's very tempting to get the pre-made displays that you see on Amazon or other display websites, which are all great, especially to start off with. But eventually you'll get to the point where you know your products can be displayed better and you start having ideas as to how things can be displayed, whether it be higher up on a table so it's more eye level, or just in like a very unique way where it's almost fun to go shopping at your booth. You'll generally start thinking of better ways in which you can show off your products. For myself, I sell scrunchies, and I used to just kind of keep the scrunchies in baskets and have people sort through the scrunchies, but I figured the scrunchies have a hole through the middle of them. Why not do some sort of pegboard situation where people can take the scrunchie off a little peg and put it back on if they want to, and just shop in that way. I made this pegboard to fit my product needs. You can definitely find these at other places, but sometimes it's more affordable to just make it on your own, learn a new craft, buy a new tool to get yourself these DIY displays. I also have this A-frame display that my dad actually made for me. Again, you can definitely find these on the market somewhere, and definitely go and buy those if that's the best option for you, especially if it seems like it's going to look more custom than one of the more generic displays that they have out there. I have seen people DIY displays that are very makeshift, using those wooden crates that you find at Home Depot or Target or places like that, and piling them on top of each other to kind of raise up their smaller products that people might not be able to see on the table. Definitely get creative and continue to think about how you can display your products better, because just because your displays are doing well now doesn't mean they can't improve. So definitely think about making your own and experimenting with new displays. Fourth thing that you should add to your vendor booth are mini products. If you are someone like me and you offer big products, I offer big candles, offer glass mugs and things like that, definitely try to figure out a way to make those same products or similar products in a miniature version. People love mini things. They also love things that don't cost that much, and they don't have to think too much about whether they can afford it or whether they want to invest the money into it. When you have products that are between $1 to $10 that are kind of just sitting by the checkout area that people can grab as they finish up their checkout, or products that they can buy just so they can support you as a business. Sometimes people don't want to invest $50 at a small business vendor market, but they will want to support your business in some way. So if you have an item that's like $1, $2, $3 or something like that, then they'll be more likely to buy that little thing just because it's an easier way to support you. For me, for my candles, I knew that people wouldn't want to commit to a $34 bigger candle. One, because it is more expensive, and two, because people might not want to carry it around if they're walking through the market. So what I did is I created these mini candles, and they're basically the same exact product, just a miniature version, and they sell them for $10. People love them, and I noticed that when people buy the candle, they don't really take too much time to smell it and like look at it and like really think about if they want to invest in this little candle in the same way that they do for my bigger candles. They kind of look at it, they say it's cute, and then they buy it, and it's a much quicker decision for them. So definitely include miniature products if you're only selling your big, robust products. Number 5 is kind of generic, but you want some eye-catching aesthetic displays. I recently did a whole vendor booth glow up using some vertical ledge displays, and there's so many other companies out there or other places where you can get really aesthetic displays, but I definitely recommend the vertical ledge ones because I've been using them for quite a few pop-ups at this point, and they are so good. I have the stadium display, the belly display, I have the garment rack, I actually have 2 garment racks, and I have the kiosk. All of these displays are the same exact aesthetic. They're all the same exact wood color. They all kind of look like they belong under one vendor booth tent, as if it's part of my branding, which it is. If your aesthetic doesn't include wood or things like that, you can definitely find other places that have displays that have across the board like the same colorful aesthetic or like black aesthetic, whatever it may be for you, vintage aesthetic, like there's so many. But definitely try to invest in displays that allow your aesthetic to come through and your branding to be very straightforward and people know exactly what your brand is about when looking at your different types of displays in your booth. I love the garment rack from Vertical Edge because it also brings things up to eye level and higher. I feel like people are really bad at looking down at tables and really seeing the full potential of a product, but when it's a little higher up, I think people can see it better. I think it's easier for them to peruse through the items, and the old garment rack that I was using before was a little bit lower and just like one level, versus this garment rack has two different levels. It's more interactive, I guess, so people actually look through the stuff a lot longer and end up deciding to buy things, I feel, more frequently than when I had my old garment rack. The next unique vendor booth idea is a dedicated checkout space. Now, I never really thought of this until recently when I was packing up orders so frequently throughout one market in this little corner of one of my 6-foot tables that I was allowed to have at my market. And I realized that having like a separate space to actually check people out would have been so much more helpful, more professional too, because I feel like when I'm checking people out in the corner of a table and I'm kind of like cramped and trying to find all of my stuff and nothing's in like one area, it just seems less professional and it seems like I don't know what I'm doing really. When there's a dedicated checkout space that's separate from the different products that I'm displaying, it almost seems more like a storefront than a makeshift pop-up shop vendor booth. I definitely recommend the Vertical Edge kiosk. If you don't want to start with something like a kiosk, you can just start with just a regular table. I used to have a smaller table from Amazon where I just had my checkout solution. I would use a tap reader. I had some business cards there and just my phone to check people out. Oh, and my cash box. Some people insist that they don't need a checkout space and it takes up too much space, but I promise you having that is definitely going to make your booth stand out more than someone else's. Next is a little bit more specific. It's a table banner. I used to only have my vinyl banner that I would tie up to the back of my tent, and it's really big. I'll put the size down below. I don't remember exactly. I'll have to go measure it. But I used to only have that really big one, and when I would do smaller pop-ups, I would bring that big banner just because I only had that one and kind of just like tape it to my table. Whenever I don't have a tent, it's harder to put up that banner. So I actually found a solution to that, and now I use a table banner, which is just a piece of cloth, kind of like a tablecloth. It's so much more lightweight, it's very affordable, and it has the same exact design as my vinyl banner, but I can just lay it on top of the table and it acts like a tablecloth as well as a banner. You can also get a dedicated actual tablecloth with your branding on it. That's also an option. I got mine from Vistaprint, so I'll put the link below to the ones that I got. Especially if you're trying to travel light and fit everything into a box or a bin, this is a good solution for you. I also feel like when I'm looking around a market and I see someone who has the table banner, it stands out to me more than someone who doesn't have a banner and it's just a regular tablecloth in the front. It looks a little bit empty, it looks a little bit like unfinished. So when I have the banner in the front, it just looks better. The next unique item is a decorative prop, or 2 or 3 or 4. A bunch. A lot of us only think that we should bring our products and just fully display the products, let them speak for themselves. But sometimes when you have props or little pieces of decoration around your booth or your table, it actually helps enhance the products themselves. I was just at a pop-up 2 days ago and this girl had some really cute candles, like pillar candles that she painted just as decoration on her table. She didn't sell candles, she actually sold jewelry, but the candles just added a nice little romantic touch to her entire setup. And I felt that it made everything look so much cuter and so much more put together, very like curated, almost like she was at a photo shoot and had props to make her stuff look better. The props that I typically use are hay crates. Here's an example of a hay crate. It folds up so nicely and they're really pretty. They fit my aesthetic because they're very colorful. It's really bright right now, but I hope you can kind of see. Not only do these act as decoration and just like a cute prop, but they're also very functional. You can store things in here and then pile them on top of each other if you need to. You can store extra inventory. shipping or packaging supplies. I also have this vintage basket that I thrifted, and that holds up my scrunchy pegboard right now. Not only is that being functional by holding on my scrunchy pegboard, but it's also really cute and kind of fits the whole vibe of my booth. I've seen people for like the Halloween time have like a skeleton prop. For the holidays, I've seen people put up lights. For Valentine's Day, I've seen people just have cute little pops of red and pink and like cute teddy bears, just like random things that kind of get you in the mood of the season and lure you into their booth so that you can look at their actual product. Next, unique but kind of not unique items are basics. Now, there are a few basic items that you definitely need for pop-up shops, and a lot of us don't really think twice about the ones we own or the ones we buy. Some basic items include our canopy tent, tablecloth, our bins, our wagon, even like a garment rack if that's something that you use. And one unique way to enhance your booth and to increase sales is to just make your basics a little bit more elevated. Elevated in that they look better, or maybe they're just easier to use and so your day ends up going smoother. I have a canopy from Quick Tent, which is really great and super easy to use. And I also have another canopy from Amazon, which is also very easy to use. They're both very basic white canopy tents, but I find that those were really good investments because I don't ever have issues with them. I hear some people who have issues with putting up their tent, things break, and I just hear like some of the other makers at the markets that I do just really frustrated with their canopy tent, and that's the last thing you want when you're setting up. So definitely invest in a high quality basic tent. I'll put the two that I use below in case you're interested in a new tent. And then something as simple as a tablecloth. If you have a basic white tablecloth that is kind of older, isn't fitted, then you might want to enhance that just to make your table look a little bit more modern. I have the cutest pink tablecloth. It's like my favorite thing. I will probably never stop using it. It's from Amazon and it's fitted, but not like so fitted. Also love the pink. It comes in a bunch of different colors and it's the perfect size for, I think, a 6-foot table. And the last unique thing that you definitely need for your vendor booth is high quality packaging. This is something I'm personally working on, but I know for a fact, especially around the holidays, people are not only looking for really good products, but also really cute packaging. Especially in the area where I'm in, people love swinging around their shopping bags and showing off the brands that they're supporting. They love cute pink and green and blue shopping bags rather than the normal craft paper bags or like especially plastic bags. I currently use craft paper bags and I want to get away from that. I'm drawing inspiration from a few different brands that I've noticed on the streets with really cute bags. Aritzia is like one of my favorites. I love their bags, and arguably some people will buy things in person at stores just to get the bag as opposed to buying online. So that's something I should do. There was also a pop-up that Michelle Choi did, I think is what her name is. She's a YouTuber, and I couldn't go, but I saw people around New York City carrying her bag everywhere. It's green, it says her brand in really big letters, and people love to support brands and like show off the brand names. So I definitely need to do that, and it's definitely something you should do as well. It will definitely cost more than just buying the craft paper bags, which is the reason I started using craft paper bag. But if people around a market see this really cool, like maybe rainbow matte bag with like a ribbon or like a drawstring kind of, what is this called? Like the holder part. It looks like a bag you would want to reuse potentially. I feel like people would intentionally try to find the shop that offered that bag, just because if the bag is not cute, imagine the products. That's something I need to work on, so we can work on that together. It's getting really bright in here, guys, because the sun is making its way over. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these 10 unique ideas inspired you to either get these new displays or to rethink the way you organize your booth. I'm rooting for you. I wish you the best in any of your future pop-ups. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.